Good evening, everyone. Good evening, all of you. How are you all doing? What's up? Hello, Arohi. Hi, Gunchika, Udip. Janisha, hi. Hello, Abhishek, Harshita. How are you all? Good evening. Good evening. All right. Hi, Mahi. Good evening, Abhishek. Right. So we're going to be starting with, I think the class is going to be very similar to what we've done earlier. Right, we will still do confusables again, some words which will really help us in some fill in the blank questions majorly जो आपके exam में आ सकते हैं, right? That's one of the things, and then we'll do menti. Hi Arpit, hi Shrestha, Ishan, hello Sam. So we'll start with the first word or first pair of words. We have, and you guys obviously have to tell me whichever one you know more about, right? So that was the deal. Hi, Ada. So we're going to look at childish versus childlike. I mean, obviously, you can make use of the illustrations and then probably guess the meaning of the word, of the words here. Hi, Nandini. Childish is immature, okay. And childlike would mean childish is negative, that's right. Childlike is positive in an innocent manner. Innocent, right? Correct. Childish is more inclined to being irresponsible. Okay, that's correct. Childlike is innocent. That's perfect. So when you talk about childish, you basically mean that this person, whomever we're talking about, is silly. Like बच्चों जैसा behave कर रहा है. And when you say बच्चों जैसा in a negative way, कि इतना बड़ा होके भी he is behaving like a child, so that is childish. When you say childlike, you talk about somebody's innocence. You speak of the purity of soul here. When we speak of childlike, right? So childish is more behavioral, while childlike is appearance oriented. Childlike could not just be appearance oriented. Childlike can also be somebody's intentions, maybe childlike, like pure intentions which is basically selfless, and that kind of thing also can be considered. Hi, Divya. So let's look at the meanings, right? So childish is a negative word as we were discussing. So that's correct. Childish is negative. So you think of meaning wise, you can say immature, somebody who's silly, and all of these words that have a similar meaning to immature and silly, like juvenile, puerile, jejune, fatuous, inane. All of these mean silly, foolish, stupid, right? So IQ wise low hona ya behavior wise stupid behave karna, that is childish. Hi Navya. So that is childish. Childlike is a little positive. So it talks about innocence. It talks about purity of intention. So ingenuous, innocent, guileless. Guileless also means when you don't have a lot of tricks under your sleeve. So you're basically without tricks. So you're innocent. You behave in a way that is absolutely, not trick oriented or deceptive. Hi Bhavyanshi. Evening. Sentence wise, he's known for his childlike smile. Childlike smile as an innocent smile, guileless, without deception, pure. And he indulged into a childish argument. That means an argument that was basically did not hold any intelligence at all in that sense. So there was no intelligent argument happening. It was a very silly, stupid argument. So that's childish. So that's the difference. Childish is negative, childlike is positive. Childish means immature. Childlike means innocent. Hi, Harshita. That was the first word. Let's look at the second word now. For the second word, the word is historic versus historical. Can you probably take a guess by looking at the pictures? What's the difference between historic and historical? What can you think of in terms of these two words when you speak of the words historic and historical? Looking at the pictures, you might be able to identify. Once in a while is historic, major achievement, that's right. Once in a lifetime or something, okay. And historic is used for an event. Right. Historic is a momentous achievement. That's correct. And historical is something related to the past and history. Correct. So historic, like you look at the picture, it's man on moon. First time man was on moon. It was the first time that human beings went there, did whatever they did. And so that was a huge moment. Momentous, as they call it, extremely significant, right? Important. So historic means something that is extremely important, something that has happened in the history is very important because it's an event that will be remembered forever, right? And historical, as you're all saying, is something related to history. So historical figures, historical documents, historical documentaries, all of those, when you say historical, you basically mean relating to history. All right. So, and a very similar this thing to historic and historical is another word which is economic and economical. We'll talk about that in a while. But so historic here means important or famous in history. Okay, something that's very significant in history, in the past event, something that was momentous, remarkable, something that that everybody will remember for a very long time because it's an achievement or an event that has happened that's very important to people. So the ending of apartheid was an historic event. It was a historic event in the sense that it was a significant event. It can or cannot just be for, positive achievements. It's not necessarily just for achievements. It can be, let's say, Jallianwala Bagh. It was an infamous event. Infamous event in the sense that it was a negative event. It was not an achievement per se, but it sure was very important for the history or a very famous event because then it led to a lot of other things that happened, right? Civil disobedience and so a lot of things. So we can say that Jallianwala Bagh was a historic event, even though not an achievement. So historic does not necessarily mean achievement wise, but something that's very, very, poignant, very, very important in history, significant. Looking at historical, something that's relating to history or past events. So the library has an important collection of historical documents. That means documents that relate to history, or he was a historical figure. That means he was a figure that was in the past, or it was a historical figure would mean that he was in the history in the previous times. या फिर जितने भी आपके historical monuments होते हैं. Historical monuments means monuments that relate to history. Right, so that's historic versus historical. Very similar analogy can be drawn when you say economic versus economical. Can you tell me what is the difference between economic and economical? Any idea between economic and economical? Akbar was a historic king, say better. I mean, we can call him famous. Historic bhi ho sakta hai, yeah, because he was a famous king. Economical means affordable. Economic related to money. That's right. So economic, you have economic policies, you have economic events, so on and so forth. That is relating to economics, या फिर money and finances. Right? And when we talk about economical, something that is affordable, या फिर cheap, या फिर easy on the pocket. Right? So that can be considered. So that is that, right? I hope that this is also clear. Economic means relating to economics, money, finances, etc. And economical means something that you can buy, purchase, or is easy on the pocket. That was the second comparison. Let's go to the third set of words. For the third one, we have, okay, so the words are peak versus peak versus peak. So maybe try answering which one is which. I am okay with peak as in W-E-K and P-E-A-K, which is given there. But what about peak as in the first one? Right, so the second one means to yes, second one is jhankna, looking at something sneakily, right? Third one is the highest point of something. Peak as in the first one means angry, irritated, annoyed, resentment of sorts. So that is that. So let's look at the meaning. Placebo, somebody asked what placebo is. They will say placebo, but a placebo is like a fake medicine. Placebo is like a fake medicine. Okay, peak as in the first one is a feeling of irritation and annoyance, resentment, indignation as in anger, exasperation as in again frustration, annoyance, etc. So he left in a fit of pique. That means he left in a fit of anger, irritation, annoyance, right? The second pique is to look quickly. There's this word they've used, which is furtively. Furtive means secretive. Okay, so when you're looking at something furtively, that means you are sneakily looking at something, secretively looking at something, not looking at it in a very open manner. So implicitly, aap kuch dekh rahe ho, that's furtive. Take a gander. Now, this is an idiom that you can pick up from this, is taking a gander. Gander basically is taking a look at something, but in a very brief fashion. Like you basically a cursory glance, you're not really going into the detail, but taking a gander would mean quickly looking at something. So that is that. So he peeked from behind the curtains. That means wo curtain ke piche se jhank raha tha. The third one is peak as in the highest point. So you can use words like zenith, pinnacle, summit. Pinnacle dobara use ho gaya. And acme. Acme is also another word that you can use. She piqued my interest in subject. Is this right? Yeah. So piqued your interest there would mean that, you know, you basically being, yeah, you're like instigated to a certain extent. So that is one of the ways. All right. Right. Pique my interest, pique my anger, pique my curiosity. That also is another one. So to excite in a way is, or to agitate in a way is also another point. Apex bhi kar sakte hain. That's right. We can consider apex as one of the meanings. So that is all. Peak as in the highest point of something. So he was at the peak of his career. That means he was at the highest point of his career. When you use the word summit, per se, summit is only used for the top of a mountain. So summit majorly is when you talk about a mountain top, right? You generally don't want to use the word summit in any other sense. You can use zenith, pinnacle, acme for career, but you really can't say he's at the summit of his career. That is incorrect usage of the word. So summit is only and only used when you talk about the peak of a mountain or a mountain top. Okay, I hope that that is clear. So these were the three words that we looked at. So peak as in the first one means irritation or to excite. Like that will be a verb. This is a noun. Peak as in the second one is to look furtively, secretively, taking a gander. And peak as in the third one means the highest point of something. Right, those were this was our third comparison. Let's go to the fourth one now. So for the fourth one, this we've discussed a couple of times. Disinterested versus uninterested. I'm pretty sure you remember, ab aata hoga, must be aware of this. Disinterested versus uninterested. Maybe use the illustrations to bring you to your right answer. We've done this earlier. We've used it in Menti, I believe, one time. Any idea what uninterested means? Okay, uninterested se pata. If not, disinterested. Uninterested is not interested. Okay. So not very interested would mean not caring about it. Right? Disinterested, not in your interest, uninterested, indifferent. Not enthusiastic about something is uninterested. Okay. Not interested at all is uninterested. Indifferent, correct. So when you say disinterested, you basically mean that you're not taking anybody's side. Okay, you're not taking anybody's side. You're being very unbiased about something. That is disinterested. Okay, when you talk about uninterested, on the other hand, is when you're bored of something, not concerned with something, or not interested at all. So that is uninterested. So that is the difference. Okay, so disinterested means unbiased, impartial, not non-partisan. Partisan means biased. So non-partisan would be unbiased, neutral about something, unprejudiced. When you are unprejudiced, that means you're not taking any one side. You are basically not on any of the sides. You are completely unbiased, right? So disinterested is that. So he was disinterested in his assessment of the benefits and drawbacks. That means he did not take any one side. He gave a very impartial assessment of the benefits and drawbacks. He wasn't partial towards it at all, right? When you talk about uninterested, on the other hand, you speak of indifference. So absolute no concern, almost bored at a certain thing, apathetic, indifferent, and without feelings for a certain thing. Unenthusiastic about something, that is uninterested. So I was totally uninterested in the gossip. I was uninterested in the movie. I am uninterested in padhai. You know, all of those are basically where you're just like not concerned at all, not not interested at all about something. That is uninterested. So that's the difference. Keep that in mind always. Disinterested is unbiased and uninterested is indifferent. Okay, that was our fourth comparison. I'm heading to the last comparison for the day, which is incredible versus incredulous. Again, look at the pictures. Tell me what could incredible versus incredulous mean. Which one is which? Incredible is a common word. We've used it quite often. Incredible Hulk, The Incredibles, right? We've used that word quite a lot of times. But what does it mean? What does incredible mean? Incredible, which cannot be believed. Incredulous is disbelief towards something. Okay, something that cannot be believed is incredible. Okay. Incredulous, who doesn't believe easily. Okay, cool, very good. So incredible, basic se cheez ko yaad rakho. In is a negative root word. All right, and credible means believable. So something that is negative and then believable would mean something that's unbelievable. That's incredible. Again, in the second word, in is a negative root word, and credulous means trusting. Like somebody who trusts easily is credulous. So somebody who won't trust easily or is not very trusting is incredulous. So remember it like that. Okay? Credible means believable, credulous means trusting. So incredible would be unbelievable, incredulous would be untrusting or distrusting or distrustful. So when you talk about incredible, something that's beyond belief, almost questionable, far-fetched, almost implausible, almost to a level of surprise, astounding and dubious. कि unbelievable है ये इतना अच्छा है इतना remarkable है that it's almost difficult to believe. Incredulous means having a doubt on someone. Correct. So he's famous for his incredible tale of triumph and valor. That means his triumph and valor ki tale was so different or so beyond belief that we called it incredible. Incredulous, on the other hand, is skeptical, not believing easily, so doubtful about people, distrustful, unconvinced. So you can use words like suspicious, chary or wary. So when you used to play Among Us, or usme wo sas aap karke likhte the, now that was when you were being incredulous about some person in your team, on your team, sorry. So that is that. Hi, Kamakshi. Valor means bravery. Okay. Triumph means victory, and valor means bravery. So it was difficult to make the incredulous guy take my side. That means it was difficult for me to make this incredulous person, distrustful person, make me believe or make him believe me and then take my side. So it was difficult. Abstained beta means kisi cheez se dur rehna. That's abstained. Okay, so it's actually the opposite of gullible div. Somebody who's incredulous would be the opposite of gullible. So you won't trust easily. Gullible means somebody who can trust easily. So incredulous would be somebody who can't trust easily. Okay? So those were our 5 words that we supposed for 5 comparisons that we were supposed to do. And yeah, I hope that that was okay. Ab chalte hain Menti pe. Now the thing is ki aaj ka Menti is again, madam, I've been keeping up with the idea of keeping it as almost as simple as possible. So it's pretty much simple. Utna difficult nahi hona chahiye. I am going to share the screen and the code will also be shared on the screen. There you go. The 6 questions this time, what is Menti about? It is a mix of questions. It has some bit of grammar, some bit of spellings, and some bit of vocabulary. Okay. The background's very good today. This is one of the cafes I went to in Delhi. It was called Charter House, I think. So wahan ki puri wall is these musical notes, and the one that's right behind me is B. Fervinka. अच्छा, आज सही में easy Menti है, सच में. Yes, I mean, there are musical notes could be used for guitar or violin or piano. Taylor Swift in London. I was almost in for mine to steal this lamp, although this lamp is actually quite cute. It's a tiny little lamp, it's very nice. So the code is 1861 7398. 1861 7398. Okay, I'm going to wait for a couple of you and then we will start the quiz. But it's a mix of things. Just be very careful of answering the questions. Can be a little confusing sometimes, but if you answer carefully, I'm sure you'd be able to do it. So let's start with the first question. Okay, so the first question is, she doesn't know much about email etiquette or etiquettes. Okay, so the word etiquette is not, can never be made plural. Okay, etiquette as a word will exist in its singular form only, so you can't make it plural. So it's always just etiquette, not etiquettes, etiquette. So she doesn't know much about email etiquette. Okay, so always remember that kabhi bhi s mat lagana etiquette ke end mein. It's always just etiquette, not etiquettes. That was the first question. So on your screen is the leaderboard. Chola is back. Dawn, my lovely, Stuti, Purva, Nemo, Train, Shrestha, Jon Snow, and M. Okay, let's head to the next question. Question number 2. Correct spelling. This one's easy. Okay, very good. See, 8 of you have incorrectly answered this. 37 of you have correctly answered. The word is guarantee and it's Guarantee. Right, so that was the correct spelling. Let's look at the leaderboard. See, I'm such a nice quiz. So if down on top, I think, then you have my lovely Stuti. No, then you have Shrestha. Train, Purva, Jon Snow, Bhavya, M, Navya, and Stuti. Third question, everyone. For the third question, it says the police dash about the accident. There's no option 3. I want to know what you found in option 3. Like that one person who marked option 3. Kya mila usme tumko? What was it? But so always remember that when you're talking about inquire as in IN, always remember IN as investigation. So जहां पे भी investigation का connotation आएगा वहां हम IN वाला inquire लगाएंगे. If it's not an investigation, if it's not an authority investigating something, just asking general questions, that's just when you use inquire as in the E1. So EN wala means just asking a query. Okay. And inquire is investigation. INQUIRE is investigation. Now here the police is asking questions about the accident. Can't it just be kyun, kaise hua, kyun hua types? It will be a proper investigation, right? And that's the reason why we will take inquire as in the second one as our answer. All right, I hope that that's clear. Always remember IN is investigation and then you will never be confused. Aage chalke. Leaderboard pe 50% of you had incorrectly answered this. Well, it looks like Shrestha is now on top. Then you have Navya, Purva, Harshita, Lal. Oh, okay. Rohi hi thi. The Dawn, Strawberry, Navya, and Madhavi. Let's go to the fourth question. For our fourth question, it is the woman dashed the monk for his sagacity. This is a question we have done earlier. Last class में. ये वर्ड्स हमने लास्ट क्लास में करे थे confusables में and exalted, correct? So what was the meaning? Exalt is to be joyous, okay? Majorly when you've won something, so being extremely joyous is that, okay? And exalt is to respect, to praise someone, to put someone in high regards. That is exalt, okay? What is sagacity is wisdom. So the woman exalted the monk for his sagacity. That means she respected, praised, kept the monk in high regards because of his wisdom, okay? So exalted means to be joyous, to be happy about, especially about somebody's achievements. That's exalting. Exalting is to respect, to praise, to put someone in high regards. Remember these two words we had discussed in the last class, right? I think on Monday we had done this. So this was just like a quick revision of everything that we had done. Ab chalte hain next pe. In terms of your leaderboard, you have Shrestha on top, Navya, Harshita, Arohi, Dawn, Strawberry, Navya, Ujjwal, Malavi, and if lol is Mishta, then Mishta. Last question? No, second last question. Okay, second last question. Fifth question on your screens. Antonym of noxious. Now this one's easy. Antonym पूछा है, remember. Hi Kashish. So noxious means something that is harmful. Poisonous. Venomous. Okay, जो चीज poisonous हो, venomous हो, almost fatal ho for your health, that is noxious. Now the opposite of that will obviously be something that's healthy and healthful, right? And that's the reason why B is correct. 28 of you have answered this correctly. Let's look at the leaderboard. Oh, okay. Lot of you have answered this incorrectly. Looks like, but I don't think that should change a lot. Oh, okay. Strawberries on top. Dawn is second. Ujjwal, Shrestha, Navya, Malavi. Navya Again, Mishta, Yash, and Batman. Okay, last question. Okay, give me just one moment. Okay, finally. Question number 6. घूमता ही जा रहा है. Her take dash the current issues was well informed. Good. So take on here means opinions. Okay, means opinions, her views, all of that were well informed on the issue. Remember, I think, have you guys seen that there is a, okay, I'm going to talk about that in a bit. पहले देख लेते हैं कि leaderboard पे कौन है, उसके बाद we will talk about some extra things that I want to discuss. On a leaderboard looks like, who is Strawberry? Strawberry has won the quiz. Then you have Dawn, Shreya, Navya, Malavi, Nishta, Lavya again, Yash, Ujjwal, and Batman. All right. Congratulations, everyone. I hope that this one was doable. This one was easier. And so now I want you to tell me something. Have you guys gone through the phrasal verbs that I have sent you? Exactly what I was going to talk about. Yes, you have to go through them. बेटा जो ग्रुप पे मैंने आपको phrasal verbs और idioms भेजे हैं, please go through them, right? And again उसको sticky notes पे 10-10 करके divide कर लो and keep remembering, learning them because they are very, very important. All right, the reason why I've given you them is so that you can have some extra information, extra material that you can refer to. There may be some idioms that may clash from the ones that you have in your knowledge primer. So it's not like ki sare hi new honge. Some you would have already done in handout, some you would have already done in knowledge primer, but please make sure that you're going through those lists. I will keep sending you something or the other time and time again, but at the moment, pehle inko khatam karo, there are about 300 plus things. I'm pretty sure it's going to take a little bit of time. So 10-10 karke usko divide karke, use them and remember them, learn them on your sticky notes, and that should be really, really helpful. Okay, it's on your Telegram group. So जो भी आप batch में हो, उस batch में I've sent you, and I think I've pinned. If I haven't pinned, तो उसके media में files में you will be able to check. ठीक है? 137 pages, yes. Okay, I know बहुत सारे हैं, but see, a lot of these things will be things you know. So even though they're like 300 idioms, I'm sure सारे 300 नहीं याद करने पड़ेंगे because there'll be a lot of them you'd have already known. So if there are 300 idioms, I'm pretty sure 150 आते होंगे. Same goes for phrasal verbs. अगर 300 phrasal verbs हैं तो सारे 300 नहीं याद करने पड़ेंगे, only about 150 because you know the rest of them. So just don't get worried just by looking at the number. Okay. Shreya Mittal. Oh, okay. That is, my tattoo is a phoenix. It's a phoenix bird. All right, chalo. So that brings me to the end of the class. I will not see you tomorrow. I have a class at the same time as this session, which is why I conducted the session and the class today. And I'm going to see you next on Monday. All right. Take care of yourself. I'm just happy for scoring good. Yay. Okay, cool. So that those documents are going to help you in your mocks as well. Okay. All right. Take care of yourselves. Be good. Stay safe. Bye-bye. Have a very good night, all of you.